Hey guys, this is Bauski, and welcome to another exciting shoutcast. Sorry, brought to you by the wonderful people at the subreddit r-castit. Oh man, this is a long one. All right, I'm sorry. This is wrong. This is all wrong. Let's try again. Hey guys, Bauski, shoutcast, subreddit r-castit. Visit it if you want to get your games casted. Blah 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 blah. All right. Oh, if you don't know where r-castit is, it's at reddit.com/r/castit. But I'm sure if you're watching this game, you know how the internet works, and you probably know what Reddit is, so... Whew! Alright. Sundays, man, right? Sundays. Okay, anyway, today we have a game from Akilon Waste between a Protoss and a Zerg. So yeah, let's get all official and stuff and get the game started. In the bottom right corner, as the red Zerg, we have FrogStomp spawning at the 4 o'clock position. This is all wrong today. And in the top left corner, as the blue Protoss, we have Extraneous. This replay was uploaded with the link saying it was to kind of share the excitement of StarCraft with some friends. So I'm already doing a fantastic job getting your friends excited here. Whichever one you are, Extraneous or FrogStomp. Your Reddit name was different, so I don't know. But hopefully your friends enjoy the game, and hopefully you, other audience viewers, enjoy the game as well, because I am pretty excited to see what happens. So far on this map, we have a gateway going down by Extraneous, which is pretty common in a simulator as well. And we'll see if Extraneous, well, he decides to go for a double gateway kind of maneuvering with the cancel. I'm really confused now. And a forge going down. So that just happened. Usually what we see is people belaying the simulator there, and usually going for some kind of another nexus for a quick macro opening. And the Zerg, FrogStomp, as normal, is getting that hatchery early, because in this game, Zerg, when playing against the other two races, usually tries to stay one base ahead, just because of how their production facilities work. So FrogStomp moving in here now is going to check to see if Extraneous has any kind of second nexus building. No, will not see that. And then he will oops, that's not what I wanted to show. He will probably see the forge and the gateway going down, and he will be like, what the fuck is going on? And then probably move his overlord back, or just stay so confused he'll move his overlord all the way in and get it killed by a stalker. Meanwhile, back at his own base, he has the spawning pool down so he can make some Zerglings, moving the queen down to the hatchery here, while making another queen quickly at the main hatchery as well. And so far, no queens or nor Zerglings are showing up on the field. However, Stalker is in production, and once the Stalker is in, the Overlord is gonna get killed. Run, Overlord! Run! Run! But the Stalker is on its way, and we'll have to see what goes on. Extraneous seems to be going for some kind of quick gateway push, with two gateways now on the field. I'm surprised that the Stalker isn't going for the Overlord, but I guess it's a little too late. And, oh, here's FrogStomp Zerglings. They're already at the Nexus, just seeing if his first scout was right. Because it's puzzling to see Extraneous, or Protoss, going for some kind of gateway push these days, especially since Zerg has really figured out a lot of the pushes and how to deal with them. FrogStomp decides to smartly stay only on two bases, playing it more safe than anything, deciding not to get that third hatchery just yet. Oh, and if my mouse movements are a little shaky today, I'm sorry. My stupid Death Adder Razor broke, and I would not recommend that mouse to anyone, ever. I'm not buying Razer products anymore. So this time I've decided to go for a Logitech, which is not here, so I'm using a Microsoft Comfort mouse right now, which does not make for the best playing or viewing experience, but oh well. Let's go back into the game. We have some kind of +1 push, I guess, coming in from Extraneous here. No, now a gateway going down, or a Stargate going down. This is all sorts of tech going up all at the same time. And it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of attack Extraneous is thinking of doing. especially with a Stargate, but lo and behold, the Overlord sees this, and great scouting by FrogStomp, and he's able to know exactly what kind of thing Extraneous is thinking of doing, and already a Spore Crawler has gone down at his natural, and, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see one go down at his main very sooner or later. Zerglings have research speed, and the Zerglings are still waiting over at the Nexus, the natural Nexus of Extraneous, and nothing has gone down so far, and the Stalker's coming in, and the Zerglings are going to get killed, and Extraneous is just going to move back inside, I guess. For those of you who don't know how Akilon Waste works, it's 2 different possible ways to your enemy's base. There's one going from this side all the way up to the possible 3rd or 4th for the other opponent. And it works pretty much the same symmetrical kind of way for the other opponent, starting from the natural, going down, blah, 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 blah. More Zerglings outside of Extraneous' base, and it looks like Extraneous, after having gone 4 gateways and canceling that Stargate, is now just going for a Nexus. Really crazy kind of build going on. It feels like Extraneous doesn't necessarily know what exactly he wants to do, and these Zerglings being a little of a nuisance trying to make this Nexus cancel, but it's not going to happen, and more Stalkers being pushed in here right now, and a couple more Zerglings accidentally being rallied to be killed at this point, and FrogStomp is taking the normal hatchery for Zerg to take. Other races can easily, by the time they take this base, they can easily break down these rocks, put the new 3rd base down, and then break down this rock tower to make a complete wall off over here, and do some kind of very safe plays on 3 bases. But Zerg, at this early in the game, usually just has Zerglings. Takes a hell of a long time to take these rocks down, so usually takes this hatchery, which is a little bit riskier, especially with these kind of drops and a very wide opening for the opponents to come in by. FrogStomp trying to get his creep spread going here now, and I think a lair is in production, or a lair has been finished, and Hydras are the choice for FrogStomp for his mid-tier instead of going Mutalisk. Possibly because he's seen so many Stalkers already coming out, and possibly thinking that there's a Stargate involved. Little does he know that the Stargate has been cancelled, and now a Twilight Council is going to be enforced, and god damn this mouse. And probably Blink is going to be showing up, especially with this many Stalkers. And maybe we'll get to see some kind of early mid-game Stalker Blink micro coming in. But we'll have to see. Interesting positioning of the photon cannon here, and more probes being put into Extraneous' natural, and he almost has a full... Zerglings coming in with some Hydralisks coming in. Interesting little push here. All the Zerglings are dead, and the Hydras are going to melt pretty quickly without any kind of buffering. And the Hydras are going to have to move on back. I don't know if that was a good choice for FrogStomp. Let's look at the income tab for a second. Pretty dead even for both players right now. More gas for FrogStomp, not surprising. And FrogStomp is definitely going to be able to get this third base mining pretty quickly, and now Extraneous is trying to take his safe 3rd, as I was mentioning before. With all of these ranged units and a couple of zealots, these rocks will go down pretty darn fast, and the rock tower will be also able to go down fast. This Zergling, however, is going to spot that Extraneous is trying to take that 3rd, so I wonder if that'll push him into taking a 4th of his own. The Hydras are pushing in, trying to do some kind of attack, but I don't think that's a very good idea, and they back out once more. And Overseer gets killed before injecting a Changeling into its midst just to see what's going on. Robotics facility has gone down with the robotics facility. That means we're about to see some Thermal Lance Colossus coming out at some point, which are pretty good against Hydras. FrogStomp, meanwhile, is just going for a full Hydra count, just Hydras all over the place, and I'm surprised to see that he still hasn't got his 1 attack yet. Finally getting his 1 attack, and I'm sure that 1 Carapace will be starting soon. Meanwhile, Extraneous' upgrades show 1 attack for him, and so far no other attacks going down. Oh, I'm sorry, he has 1 armor, so that's pretty good. And now Extraneous coming into a dangerous situation here. FrogStomp definitely has a slightly better positioning here, and he's able to kill off a bunch of Extraneous' units. I'm surprised that I haven't seen any kind of... Oh, nice force fields going down now, taking down a lot of these Hydralisks, but I would have to say, if we look at the army count, yeah, FrogStomp is in pretty good position, especially with a 59 army supply to the 38, and Extraneous is going to have to be forced to make more Stalkers, which no Protoss really wants to do. They want to keep their gateway units low so they can get the higher tech units usually. Is thermal lines being researched? No, it's not. And it's probably because of the lack of gas coming in from Extraneous, and as he really wants to take that fast third Nexus. Well, not so fast anymore. Meanwhile, FrogStomp is doing the natural thing and taking his fourth as well. So both players just kind of rallying more units to their cause right now. More Zerglings coming into the fold and more Hydralisks coming in. So far, just only one Colossus with no thermal land so far. And the Overseer is being pushed into position so that these Hydralisks can get a better position. But moving into this ramp, especially against the Colossus that are being put out, I don't know if it's in FrogStomp's best choice to keep on pushing with the Hydralisks. Hydralisks, although they have pretty decent range, are very squishy, and so once any kind of spread fire unit comes out, it's they can be melted down pretty darn fast. It really feels like FrogStomp should change into some kind of different tech at this point, and his tech of choice seems to be Spire now. As where is that Spire? There it is. As the Spire's going down, Roach Warrens has been put down surprisingly for a while, but so far we haven't seen any Roaches, and now FrogStomp doing the same thing as Extraneous, putting down these rocks as well so that he can have easy coverage in case this fourth base ever gets attacked by Extraneous in any kind of manner. And FrogStomp leaves an Overlord in the middle of Extraneous's, or in front of Extraneous's bases, just so that he knows if any kind of attack is going to come out from Extraneous at any point. That Overlord being trained into Overseer right now, and more gateways going down for Extraneous, and both players just kind of macroing up, producing tons more things, getting that +2 attack right now, getting more Colossus count. Colossus count at 3 now, which means Hydras pretty much die in one swipe. So, pretty dangerous place to be, especially since I see 13 more Hydralisks going down for FrogStomp right now. If FrogStomp wants to win any future battles against this kind of composition, he's going to have really great positioning of his armies, getting that nice concave to be able to surround all of Extraneous's army. More upgrades going down at FrogStomp's base as well, and I think, yes, the Spire is done, and Vipers are now being made by FrogStomp, which is great because this means the positioning game isn't such a big deal for FrogStomp, and if he has Vipers that have enough energies, the Vipers can just pull in the Colossus and focus fire and kill those first. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. And Enduring Locust is being researched. That means that we're gonna soon see some swarm hosts coming into play as a way to keep on pushing at Extraneous' natural position, as well as denying him from being able to take that fourth, or having the fourth be any useful at all. And FrogStomp doing the right thing, taking the fifth as both people macro up. And so far, the Vipers are just staying behind, trying to get as much energy as possible. Extraneous sadly doesn't know about this switch into Vipers. At this point, if you're going to counter Vipers, you do need a Templar Archive to be able to start making those high Templars. But so far, no Templar Archive in sight. And now the Vipers are coming in. They have Blinding Cloud. They have Abduct now. And so this is going to be pretty dangerous here. And FrogStomp just kind of coming in just to see what's going on. The Colossus now being pulled from the back. And sadly, a bit of micro from FrogStomp over here. Tons of Colossus, tons of Corruptors coming in, however, to kill all of these Colossus. but the Hydras die out, and now Extraneous is gonna push forward. FrogStomp, his Hydras were a little bit too behind, and his Vipers got sniped, and they pulled the wrong things, and now FrogStomp still, or Extraneous still has 2 Colossus, a bunch of Stalkers. I'm surprised to see no Blink out of the Stalkers, however. And now he's just going to keep on macroing up, producing all those Colossi, getting those upgrades. And right now, if we look at the army tab, yeah, Extraneous has pretty much double the army that FrogStomp has. FrogStomp is in kind of a problematic position, and so far his fifth hasn't been saturated, but it looks like all of his drones are moving to saturate the 5th. But it's too late now, as Extraneous has finally got his 200 supply army, and he's going to push in with all of these units. A lot of gateway units, but not a problem. Their upgrades are pretty darn good, especially against these 2-1. Actually, they're pretty even on upgrades, right? Yeah, 2-1, 2-1. And Extraneous is just going to push in real quick, like right into FrogStomp's base, skipping the 3rd and going straight into the natural, trying to get a better position here. It's a wonderful position to have, actually. But the Colossus a little too close to the side. The Hydras could be able to snipe them, but their pathing gets fucked up, and the force fields are great and are able to push it back. Some Swarm Hosts in the back here. And Swarm Hosts coming in from this other flank as well. No observer from Extraneous, so he doesn't even know where the Swarm Hosts are. But with this many Colossus, oh, the Corruptor's coming in, however, and now we're gonna start to snipe down the Colossus. I was gonna say that the Colossus are key to, even without observers, being able to swipe on the Swarm Hosts, doing spread damage and being able to kill all the Swarm Hosts. But now the Swarm Hosts are able to just keep on producing more and more Locusts. But the gateway unit count from Extraneous is gigantic. It's pretty huge, and a lot of things are being killed right now. And I'm wondering what FrogStomp or Extraneous is going to kill now. He's just kind of sitting in the middle of his base, not really doing anything, finally moving into the 3rd to get FrogStomp's other base. Meanwhile, FrogStomp is still trying to rally more and more units for his cause, and more Stalkers come into play, more Overlords being killed by Extraneous here, and this one final Colossus is going to go down. But so many gateway units, there's just 169 if we look at the army tab, 57 to 91. And Extraneous' army is now going to move into the main. More Swarm Hosts on all sides. And because of some micro issues, the Swarm Hosts are able to do a lot of damage against Extraneous' army, and Extraneous is just kind of moving back and forth, uncertain of what he should really do with this army, not certain of going into FrogStomp's main. He really should go into the main and start destroying everything. Has the Observer finally come? No, Observer is still being made, still hasn't shown his face here, and Mutas are now being produced by FrogStomp, but it might be a little too late, as there are just so many damn Stalkers inside of FrogStomp's main, and they're going to be able to take down this hive, they're going to be able to take down these upgrades, they're going to be able to take down the Infestor Pit and the Spawning Pool and the Hydralisk, and all of that research that Extraneous has worked so hard for is just going to all go downhill from now. Meanwhile, back at Extraneous' base, there's a huge, gigantic Muta count from FrogStomp, but a ton of Blink Stalkers, or just Stalkers. No Blink has still been researched. But the Mutalisks are going into Extraneous' main now. Thankfully, there isn't a lot of tech in Extraneous' main, so he's going to be able to be pretty safe. And there just aren't enough Mutalisks just yet to be a big damage force for FrogStomp. And interestingly enough, Extraneous is gonna leave the spawning pool back, and he's gonna start moseying back all the way back home, and making a couple more Stalkers on the way there. The observer, one observer out and another observer back now. Nexus finally at Extraneous base has been taken down, and the Mutalisks are trying to choose what the hell to take care of, and now they're getting to in the 3rd, and they're going to be able to kill all of these probes. I feel like the Stalkers just should have stayed at the 3rd and tried to do as much as they could, and now the other stalkers at the other side of the map are doing a ton of damage here and gonna be able to go in and take down one of FrogStomp's last big bases. And FrogStomp sees all of these drones running away towards this side, so I think he has a pretty good idea of where the other base is. This third of FrogStomp's is not very well saturated and not a lot of minerals left, so that's not such a big issue. And one of these probes getting into the fight as well, and another base going down for FrogStomp. Meanwhile, FrogStomp doing a bit more damage, getting another Nexus, and boy, there sure are a lot of observers not doing anything right now. And all of these drones are now going to go into this other hidden base that has been made. Meanwhile, Extraneous just trying to kill more and more bases. This has now turned into a pretty detrimental base race scenario, and I'm interested to see if Extraneous will make any kind of photon cannon field here, which would be a great way to deal with a base race situation. These Nexus or these Mutas now coming in, getting rid of this photon cannon field before it can pop up, and this fourth of Extraneous's, and Extraneous now moving all of his stalkers back to this fourth to be some kind of support as Zealots are trying to take care of the rest of whatever's going on. These Swarm hosts still haven't done much, and now these Zealots are just going to move in and get crushed by these Swarm hosts who have, I think, yeah, +3 range, so they're pretty strong Swarm hosts. And these Stalkers are also going to have to be careful. They're not being microed right now, and all of these Swarm hosts are going to be able to take care of these Stalkers. Meanwhile, the Mutalisk count has become quite huge, and now tons of Extraneous stuff is being killed, and there's really nothing that Extraneous can do. Finally opening up these other gateways. He's been pretty busy trying to do so many things at the same time. And now, yeah, Extraneous just trying to find the other bases, I guess. The Observer does see this base, but each time he passes by the Swarm host field, he gets more and more things killed. So he's got to be careful, and now he's moving these other Stalkers in to try and get rid of this base. He thinks this is the last mining base, but it's not. He's going to have to be careful. More Stalkers coming in to try and take care of more of these drones. Meanwhile, the FrogStomp just doesn't care with his Mutalisk force. He's just trying to kill as many things as he can, and all of Nexus has gone down. Thankfully, the bang for Extraneous is gigantic as crap, so Extraneous able to make another base right now. Finally, one of the last mining bases for FrogStomp has gone down, but thankfully he has saturated this one. The Observers are here, though, and they're ready to do more damage, and the Swarm hosts just keep doing such good damage. I'm surprised with so many Observers he hasn't moved more Observers into with his army just to move around and be able to know where the Swarm hosts are. And another Nexus being made where FrogStomp's old base used to be. And the Swarm hosts are just still down in FrogStomp's main, not doing anything. Finally moving into a better position, maybe hopefully to defend against something else. Final base of FrogStomp going down, but he does have enough money to put down another Nexus, and it's going to be interesting to see as the Mutalisk take down another Nexus that was not cancelled. So that's another 400 minerals wasted, and the Swarm hosts are coming in steadily. And it's an infinite resource for FrogStomp, so Extraneous is going to have to be very careful, especially with these +3 range Swarm hosts coming in to do a bit of trouble here. And the Mutalisks are still able to do quite a bit of damage. 200 left now for FrogStomp as he puts down his final hatchery. If this isn't cancelled correctly when it comes point to kill it, he's gonna be unable to make any more hatcheries. And here are the Stalkers. It is cancelled. There's 400 minerals left, and all of these Stalkers are just keep on getting raped by these Swarm hosts, and still the Observers haven't been posted to be able to kill the Swarm hosts, and the Locusts just get free reign over this army. And now the Mutalisks are going to be come in from the side here, and they're gonna Extraneous isn't paying attention and loses so many of the Stalkers right now, and the Stalker count isn't that high anymore, and another cancel is going to go down, and slowly the mineral count for FrogStomp is going down. And Wow. I didn't even realize FrogStomp had lost all his buildings. But Extraneous able to get that last cancel and kill there, leaving FrogStomp with no buildings at all, which I guess won him the game, even though it definitely seemed like FrogStomp had a much deadlier army at this point compared to Extraneous's composition. Well, I guess that's GG. That's kind of crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Thanks to whichever one of the players who uploaded the game, and yeah.